Welcome back, and I'm gonna continue where I left off. So, don't eat too close to your bedtime. Sure thing. Oh god, what happened? Oh. I follow Damien to his sitting room, where finger foods have already been set upon a beautiful tired silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high-backed chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having a high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What?
Oh!
It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, when in fact, the high refers to both the later time of the day that the working class had to enjoy tea, and the height of the tables on which they're served. Oh. My dear friend, we're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Let's see, what do I want to answer here? I like your cape. Loves it. Okay, let's try another one. Your home is really impressive. Wow, that worked. It seems like you've really put a lot of work into this place. Thank you.
Huh.
No one's ever complimented my home before. Hell, I can barely get matching salt and pepper shakers in my place. And look at what you've done. I'm kind of jealous. That's very generous of you to say. What got you so interested in goth stuff?
Oh!
Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city?
Huh.
Sorry? Did you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. You're serious? Of course. But it's, you know, the song, Amanda made me listen to it. Seriously? I'd love to see a marching band. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion. What started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermied animals grew into a sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and culture of those who came before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of tea. I can acknowledge that there were many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and to try to live a life that strictly aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Tell me, Caleb, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do. But I don't know if I care about anything the way you care about this stuff. Well, I'd love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about the things they're passionate about is intriguing, and quite honestly, rather attractive. Please do tell me about your hobbies. Quick. Sounds sophisticated. So, save. I like watching soap making videos on the internet. Soap is, an important advancement in modern society, getting rid of germs and stuff. I would say that the people who make soap are the true heroes here. To watch them work is an honor. I tried making some with Amanda once, and we both had to go to the doctor for the rashes. Which I guess goes to show that we should leave it to the professionals. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches.
How delightful!
So let's try a different answer. He's not excited about soaps. Okay. Hearts. Let's try the other one. Oh my god. Never give up, never surrender. Love me some word jumbles. The written word fascinates me. We spend so much time using words, you know? And I think people would appreciate them more if they had to unjumble them.
Ah.
It's poetic, really. Oh, so you're a writer. In a sense. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches. Come, I have one more thing to show you. Damien takes me around the back of his home where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscaped rows. A small stone path weaves through it and butterflies flit lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you. Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send to bouquets. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relationships in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings. Even more interesting is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message. Daniel leans down and plucks a gorgeous bright orange flower off of a vine. Lilium bulbiferum, the orange lily. What do you think this one means? Let's save. Okay. My loins are ablaze. Hatred. Huh. Okay, let's go back. So let's try 3 cheers for sweet revenge. Hearts. The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Well... And that's precisely why floral arrangement is so challenging. What's your favorite type of flower? Oh god. Let's save. Honeysuckle. They smell really good. And then you can eat the tiniest little drop of nectar when you pull the stem out. Hearts. I'll have to remember that when I put together a bouquet for you. He would put together a bouquet for me. Nobody's ever given me a bouquet before. I follow Damien down the footpath and admire more of his beautiful flowers. Suddenly, a phone rings. Oh, Caleb, will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls a cell phone out of his pocket. I am a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. Go for it. Damien smiles and walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavily perfumed air. What a lovely yard. This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew to the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle!
Fix that garg!
Oh god. Allah.
Goal!
There we are. Never give up, never remember. Whew, that was a close one. Uh-oh, here comes Damien. He looks upset.
Ah!
Caleb, my sincerest apologies to have kept you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything all right? Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucian. What's wrong? He appears to have... Well, his teacher needs me to come to the school. Post haste. Do you need help? Oh no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together. You're right, this is one of Lucian's more elaborate stunts. I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go. Damien and I walk into the school and are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo.
I don't know.
Hey Damien, you're here in record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Wow, whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the My Kids Are in Trouble rodeo. What is it this time? This, Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through the busy corridors of the school. We pass by several classes in session, and I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into a small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. Watch your step. I can hear faint voices drifting up from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I'm led into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of creepy basements. We find another teacher in a boiler room tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucian and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucian has a bloody nose. Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime and see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around. What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucian tried to kill me. The room falls silent. I was not trying to kill you, dumbass. I was just trying to build a brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was wine down here. You tricked me. Whoa, wait a second, Lucian. Did you try to cask of Amontillado? Did you try to cask of Amontillado, Ernest? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turn to Damien and whisper to him. What's Cask of Amontillado? It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk, lures him down to the cellar with the promise of wine of a fine vintage, then buries him alive behind a brick wall. It's a lovely story. So wait, Lucian, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see how it would turn out. I wasn't actually gonna leave him there. What was the thought process here? That Ernest was just going to sit still while you slowly built a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot, but then he realized that I had lied about the wine. And you were cackling maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes. Dad!
Whoa!
It took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the Cask of Amontillado and it took you 20 minutes to realize Lucian was leading you into an elaborate ruse? Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages and then read a review of the movie. Like my daughter.
Whoa!
It's only 5 pages long and there is no movie! Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucian to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me, so when you think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both have their heads in their hands. You guys are always telling me to engage in the literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. Ernest and Lucian high five. The teacher starts to stomp up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your mediation. We all head up the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucian, Damien, and I all pile into my car and begin the drive home. Lucian immediately puts his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not going to therapy again. I know, son. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you and I can see that you're struggling. So if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend this next week looking for a summer job, I know how much you want your own car. I can't believe Damien's keeping his school. I'm impressed. Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucian continues staring out of the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian hops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright. And all things considered, Lucian's bricklaying was pretty good, so there's your silver lining. There is that, yes. Let's save. I really admire how you handled that. You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him. And I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favors. It rarely does. You're a good man. Oh, there we are. We got the aubergines. See you around soon? Eggplant, sorry. It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo, what you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers, Extreme Edition. Ugh, I hate the show. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made out of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them with bemused expressions, both of their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I wanted a 2-bed, 2-bath shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. I am not pooping outside, Greg! Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd the afternoon tea go? It got strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucian since he tried to... He lured Ernest down to the cellar with the promise of a fine vintage and then tried to brick him into the wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read the story except for me? Lucian live-streamed the entire thing. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise, it was a fun day. The Damien guy is a character, but he's really good company. And a surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. Exercise regularly and you'll stay healthy. Rank S? Yes.
My
rank S.
dear friend, you've simply taken the egg on this one. Taken the egg is it's a, it's a Victorian phrase.
Welcome. You've got dads.
So no more math, because that will give us the final date. So let's do second date with Damien. I had a lot of fun hanging out with Damien the other day. I wonder what he's up to. I open up Dad book and start writing him a message when Amanda walks in the door. Dad, you got a letter. Oh, is it from Grandma? No, it's from Damien. Whoa, can I see it? Amanda hands me a piece of old parchment, folded into an envelope and sealed with purple wax. Damn, the dude goes all out. I pry off the seal and unfold the letter. In the most beautiful calligraphy, the letter reads... so I'm gonna have to... Let me see how I can read this. Dearest Caleb, I hope you'll find my continued correspondence endearing rather than trying. One can only hope that my use of this slower, more traditional form of communication will showcase my sincere and earnest sentiment that I greatly enjoyed our time together. I write this hastily under the warm embrace of excitement, fearful that I may misstep and speak towards something unwelcome. For now I hope that you might forgive my boldness. I will simply say that your company has greatly occupied my thoughts. While the afternoon may have been derailed by forces unforeseen, your companionship helped a great deal not only in the discipline of my child, but in the morale of my spirit. And for that I thank you. That said, Caleb, if you'll allow me, it would mean the world to me if I would enjoy more of your time. Perhaps a trip to the cinema followed by a moonlit stroll would be to your taste. Perhaps a trip to the cinema followed by a moonlit stroll would be to your taste. I eagerly await your response. With your respect, D. Bloodmarch. Amanda and I both look up from the letter. Wow. He's good. So you gonna catch a movie with him? Yeah, I better message him on Dad book and let him know. Amanda slaps my laptop shut.
What?
You have to write him back a real letter. But my handwriting looks like two toddlers fighting over a crayon.
Hey!
Dad, you have to. He wrote you a letter. That's so cool. Will you help me? I need to class this up. Father, I was made for this. Here's what you do. Find tickets to a show that you two will like. Then, enclose them in the letter. Oh, that's classy. Amanda and I hop onto my laptop and peruse showtimes. He doesn't seem like a romantic comedy kind of guy.
Yeah!
Oh, here's one. Vampire Crusade 2.
Yeah!
Evil Never Dies. I don't know. That sounds kind of stupid. Actually, it's a critically acclaimed exploration into the ennui of existence. It really turns the vampire trope on its head. Really?
Huh.
No, there's just lots of blood and vampire titties. Well, let's roll the dice. I purchase the tickets and print them out, then sit down at the table with Amanda to try drafting a nice letter. I start writing. Damien. Good morrow to you on this fine eve. Not sure if that checks out, but it looks fine to me. What's next? I must confess of my amateur control of the written word. Geez, Dad, have some faith in yourself. Okay, we're trucking along. Let him know how you're feeling. You find me in good spirits, for I felt very much the same after our last encounter. Nice.
Yeah.
Ask him to hang out already. True art takes time, Amanda. While a strange turn of events, I found myself enamored of the situation at hand. That's right.
Mm.
Bring it home, Pops. It would bring me great pleasure to escort you to the cinema. Smooth. Calling it the cinema is a classy move. Enclosed you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you will find both titillating and enjoyable. We'll carry on, and then I sign my name, my full name. Fancier that way. Caleb Gallio.
Huh.
Is this okay? Amanda reads over my sloppy handwriting. You spelled his name wrong. What? Just trying to keep you on your toes. Now all you have to do is seal it and put it in his mailbox. Can I seal it with tape? That's not authentic enough. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Amanda leaves the room and returns with a candle, a lighter, and a small piece of wood.
Ah.
You gotta have a wax seal. She lights the candle, which starts to burn down and form a pool of melted wax. What's that other thing?
Ah.
Amanda pours some of the wax onto the folded letter and expertly presses the small piece of wood into it. She lets it dry for a second and then pulls the wood away. Revealing... Here it is, your sigil. A little kitten with a bow on its head. Awesome. Scrapbooking stuff always comes in clutch. Well, I guess all there is to do is deliver it to his doorstep now, huh? Oh, I thought we were getting a carrier pigeon to do it. I already called my guy. I have a pigeon guy. Marcus has the good pigeons. Don't get your pigeons from Anthony. They're no good. I don't want to know if any of this is true. I head outside and walk over to Damien's house. I slip the letter into the slot in his door, and go back home. Mission accomplished? Now we play the waiting game. The night finally rolls around where I'm supposed to meet with Damien. The next day he had left another beautifully crafted letter thanking me for mine and agreeing to the evening. Amanda helps me pick out a nice outfit and I show up to the theater a little bit early. It's a chilly night and the theater is kinda crowded, but it's still nice. I jump at the sound of his voice and turn around to see Damien right behind me. You almost gave me a heart attack. How long were you there for?
Ah!
I don't know, I just walked up. My apologies for frightening you. Was that thunder? Is it gonna rain soon? I didn't hear anything. What?
Huh. Oh my!
What? Regardless, the hour grows close. Shall we take our seats in the cinema? I must thank you again for purchasing our tickets. Please allow me to repay the debt in Sour Patch Kids, or perhaps Milk Duds. Let's do it! We get in line to buy snacks. As we're waiting, I hear a familiar voice behind us. My dad's here. I turn around to find Lucian standing a few feet behind us, with a gaggle of other goth kids. Lucian, how nice to see you. I didn't know you were coming to the theater. I'm glad to see you spending some quality time with your friends. Whatever, Dad.
Uh-huh.
And what movie will you be attending tonight? My friends are making me see some kids movie about talking animals. I don't really care about it. Well, I do hope you enjoy your evening. We'll be watching Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies.
What?
You watching that? Yeah, I thought Damien would enjoy it.
Hmm.
Huh. Good luck with that, Dad. Lucian rejoins his friends and I look over to Damien. Good luck with what? It's nothing, my son loves to tease. We wait in line for a little longer and Damien buys us snacks. He seems a little nervous. I wonder what's wrong. Damien and I take our seats and settle in for previews. Glancing at him, I can see that he's sweating profusely and gripping his armrest. Let's see. Vampires, huh?
What?
Ah yes, the winged creatures of the mist. I fear them not, for I know the night as well as the, I am so excited for this film. Okay, so let's try another answer. Everything okay? Okay, we got hearts. Let's try another one. Okay, so this didn't work. Try to exercise regularly. Is everything okay? Everything is perfectly fine.
Huh.
I'm so excited for this film. I am a devoted patron of the arts, especially the scary arts. The scarier the art, the better. Do you have a favorite horror movie? Of course I have a favorite horror movie. Mine is Halloween Town, terrifying. Oh, interesting. That's odd. I don't seem to remember Halloween Town being that scary. I would have expected him to bring up some sort of strange foreign horror film that I'd never heard of. Damien's knuckles are turning white. It looks like he's about to rip the armrest off. Wait a second. Damien, are you afraid of horror movies?
What?
You must be joking. I love horror movies. The lights dim for the film. Damien screams. I apologize. I was thinking about something far scarier than this movie, which is not scary at all. At all. We settle in as the film starts. I offer Damien some licorice and he takes one. I take note of how much his hands are shaking. The title flashes across the screen in bloody letters. Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies. A pale man with long silver hair, glittering red eyes and well-oiled abs sits up in a coffin. Awaken, my coven. Two more vampires slide the tops of their stone coffins onto the floor. Brother, is it time? Yes, husband, but also mortal enemy. It is time. The three look at each other and then to the camera. For the Vampire Crusade. This rules. The trio of vampires flies off into the night as foreboding organ music plays in the distance. I somehow get lost in the movie. As dumb as it sounded, it's actually a pretty fun flick. We get to a tense moment of the movie where Romulus Trueblood sits at a truce meeting with the general of the human army, whose wife Romulus has fallen in love with. Romulus, it is good to finally meet you. General, I agree, it's good to finally blood you! Romulus leaps out and slashes the general's throat. Blood splatters over everything, including the camera. Damien screams again, reflexively grasping my hand. Ooh. I immediately blush, forgetting about any vampires or blood or vampiric blood.
What?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
Hmm.
Damien retracts his hand and places it back in his lap. I was writing a novel in my head about blood magic and I got to an extremely scary section. Damien goes back to quietly stressing out over the movie. It's kind of cute that he won't admit that he's afraid of it. I wish he would hold my hand again. Maybe I could do something to try to make him feel more comfortable. I've got it. I'll do what all dads do best. Talk during the movie. Let's save. Ask what's happening. No. Missed. Allah. Point out a plot hole. Did you notice how the guard fired 7 bullets, but his gun only holds 6 bullets? Yes. That is absolutely unforgivable from a filmmaking standpoint. It's almost unwatchable. It's funny how it's so much easier to point out tiny mistakes in the work of others than it is to actually go create your own thing, huh? Let's try another one. Tell the dad joke. Hearts, finally. Where does a dog go when it loses its tail?
What?
Where? To the retail store. I yelled at last bit a little too loud for a crowded movie theater, but I can see a smile form on Damien's face.
Huh.
Good one, Caleb. The rest of the movie goes by relatively smoothly, with only a few whimpers from Damien. Maybe he would have liked the romantic comedy better. We get to the final scene of the movie where Romulus Badblood and the General's wife embrace each other in his crypt. It appears that the true vampire crusade was the vampire crusade in our hearts, our cold, unbeating hearts. Romulus and the General's wife begin making out. Hard.
What?
The film fades to black and the end appears on the screen. But then it hard cuts to Demetrius and his rival lover Carmelia, who watched the two from afar. Oh no, twist ending! Our bloodline has been pure for 1,000 years. Romulus has betrayed us by loving a human woman. It will only be a short time before the next Vampire Crusade 3. Evil must die again! More thunder! More ominous organs. The movie fades out again, and a bloody question mark now accompanies. The end? Damien and I walk out of the movie theater amidst throngs of chattering moviegoers. He's a little more pale than I remember, but otherwise he survived the encounter. He even seems kind of invigorated. What an interesting film. While the premise admittedly struck me as pedestrian, I was intrigued by its harrowing love story and great attention to detail in regards to vampiric lore. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot more vampire titties than I thought there would be.
Oh.
Come, the night is young, let's take a stroll.
Ah.
Damien is making a point of not telling me where he's taking me. Still, I'm enjoying the walk and the cool night air. Being alone here with Damien is a lot better than being in a crowded theater. Lovely night, isn't it? As lovely as the company, yes. He thinks I'm lovely. Damn, okay, here comes the smooth response. Let's see. Thanks. Thanks gives us hearts. Let's try another one. Maybe we can get some eggplant. No?
Ah.
Okay. Not going with that one. Thanks. No problem. Crushed it. We both stand there feeling a little awkward. I sure am one smooth operator. Are you getting a little hungry? We could maybe stop off and grab something to eat.
Ugh.
Worry not, friend, I've a plan. We turn the corner and are greeted by the gates of a cemetery. What? Are we going in there?
Oh.
A little bit of Victorian flavor, Caleb, trust me. I'm a bit nervous, but Damien hasn't led me wrong yet. I follow his lead as we walk into the cemetery. Statues of angels stare down at us as we follow a path through the faded tombstones. As we crest a small hill, we get a beautiful view of the city. The nightlights sparkle around us. I gotta hand it to him. For being in a cemetery, this is strangely romantic. Cemetery. For being in a cemetery, this is strangely romantic. Picnicking in graveyards is an old Victorian tradition. An appropriate finish to an evening after a vampire movie, wouldn't you say? With a flourish, Damon produces a blanket and picnic basket. Wait, where were you hiding that?
Huh.
Under my cloak? Oh, right. Damien unfolds the blanket and we both sit down, gazing out at the city lights. He produces a bottle of red wine and a fine selection of cheeses. In the Victorian era, there was no public art galleries, parks, or botanical gardens to speak of. Once rural graveyards became a more popular alternative to church burials, they became the only place that people could see beautiful plant life and find sculptures. That makes sense. This is pretty nice. I have a question though. How are you so okay with being in a graveyard, but you had trouble handling a scary movie?
What?
I wasn't. He sighs deeply. Okay, yes, I was extremely scared by that movie. I was not writing a book about blood magic in my head. I just have never been good at those. I just feel as if because of how I look and act, people expect me to love horror films, so I must play the part. Truth be told, I don't know if I have the constitution for them at times. Damien, I'm so sorry. If I had known, I would have suggested another movie. It's quite alright. I actually did find myself enjoying this one, thanks to your help. Graveyards, however, I think there's something rather beautiful about death. Cemeteries are traditionally built away from cities, away from the realm of the living, and it keeps us rather separated from it. To acknowledge death and become comfortable with it, I think gives us a certain intimate knowledge of ourselves. To sit amongst generations of those who came before us, to be truly alive in the midst of so much death, brings me great comfort. Death helps me appreciate life, to savor every second. We sit and enjoy our food and wine. I don't feel scared anymore. Never thought I'd be comfortable sitting alone in a graveyard at night, but I actually feel very peaceful. Suddenly, it doesn't seem like we're alone. Off in the distance, I see a shadowy figure in the trees. What is that?
Ah!
I'm not sure. It noticed us. I'm paralyzed with fear as it begins lumbering slowly towards us. Its shape taking a more animal form, more feral. I look to Damien for help, but he's just as afraid and transfixed as I am. I want to scream, but it's stuck in my throat. The creature is getting closer, moving faster.
Ah!
Woof! Oh,
Ah!
it's a dog. As it finally comes into the light, the friendliest, dumbest little Boston Terrier I've ever seen pulls its owner towards us. Robert, I suppose.
Oh.
The dog trots over to Damien and sniffs at his hands. Damien looks ecstatic. He ruffles the dog's fur happily.
Hmm.
What a beautiful dog. Hey! We both look up, not expecting to see. Thanks. Robert, what are you doing out here on this lovely evening? Hunting cryptids. What?
Huh.
What?
Oh.
I didn't know you had a dog. This isn't my dog. I found her wandering in the street. I put a leash on her and now we're walking around this graveyard together. Hunting cryptids. Damien and I share a look. May I give her a treat? Sure. Wouldn't give her cheese though. Not to worry. Damien reaches into the depths of his cloak and procures a small dog treat. What else is he keeping in there? The dog laps up the treat and crunches away, tail wagging furiously. Damien continues to smooth down her fur. Thanks. My absolute pleasure. Damien shakes the dog's paw. Lovely to meet you, my friend. May our paths cross again. Robert and his dog disappear into the darkness again. Damien stares after them. I didn't know you liked dogs. Victorians loved dogs, actually. Most Victorian women of high fashion would always be accompanied by a small dog, such as a terrier or a Maltese. I think big dogs are nice too. Yeah, man, dogs are cool. I do believe we've had enough excitement for one night. What say we make our way home? Damien hops to his feet and extends a hand to help me up. I gladly take it as my knees aren't what they used to be. He packs up his picnic basket and leads us out of the graveyard. As we begin to walk home, I take one last look at the cemetery. It really is beautiful. Like a proper gentleman, Damien walks me to my doorstep. Thank you ever so kindly for your company tonight. Damien, it was my pleasure. Caleb, if you'll allow me, it would bring me great joy to offer you a token of my affection. Damien reaches into his cloak and pulls out a folded, monogrammed handkerchief. He presses it into my hand. Wow, thank you, Damien. Let's see. I will use this to dry my tears for those I've lost. Perfect. A noble purpose. Damien shuffles his feet. I just want to say that it's rare to find someone like you. Someone who's open to my eccentricities. It's nice to feel so accepted. Thank you. Damien gives my hand a quick squeeze. Damien blushes and hastily retracts his hand. I must take my leave. Good night. Before I can say anything else, he's gone. I unlock the door and step inside.
Whoa!
Like a whirlwind, Amanda runs from the window and plops down on the couch, trying to look nonchalant. Hey, Dad, what's up? Were you watching me from the window? No, I was just, Okay, yes. How was the movie? Lots of vampire titties.
Yeah.
Told you. But, as it turns out, Damien is scared. Wait! Amanda doesn't need to know that. I'll keep it between me and Damien. Scary cool! Yep, he's so cool. It's scary! Nice save, Caleb. Did you know that graveyards used to be a place to throw parties? I think I'm misremembering that. Wow, that's pretty punk. Also, we saw a dog. Definitely thought it was a werewolf for a minute, though. How can you be so sure it wasn't a werewolf? How can you be so sure I'm not a werewolf? And how can I be so sure you're not a werewolf? Amanda's eyes narrow. I don't trust you. Nor I, you. We make intense, wary eye contact for a second. Anyway, I'm calling it for the night. Don't stay up too late, will ya? I'll try not to howl at the moon past midnight. Keep your word. Date complete.
Wow, my stars, this... Never in a million moons have I had a date such as exquisite as this one.
Try to drive in a way where you never have to use your brakes. It's a beautiful night and the air smells so fresh, so I decide to take the long way home. I casually stroll through the neighborhood, taking in the sights and sounds of a suburban city with a low crime rate and wide walkable sidewalks at night. As I approach the bar, I can hear patrons inside cheering. Oh, I bet the game is on. I wonder if my team is playing tonight. A drop of water hits my head. And now it's lots of drops of water. It's raining. It's pouring rain. Maybe I should wait this out inside. I order a beer from the bar and settle in. It turns out that my team isn't playing tonight, but I can certainly enjoy the game regardless. The bar is unusually crowded, and the feeling of camaraderie over a shared love for the game makes me smile. Sports are nice. I look over into the corner and spot none other than Mary sitting alone in the corner, nursing a cocktail.
Ah.
Something about her seems different this time. Now that she's by herself and not hanging off some younger guy, she looks so sad.
Hey.
She looks up and half-heartedly raises her glass to me before staring off into middle distance. Say hi. I decide to go say hello. I walk over to her booth. She doesn't look up. This seat taken? She still doesn't look up. I take a seat anyways, and she finally notices me.
Hey.
Hey, cowboy. You alright? Never better. She hiccups. Guess she's a little far gone.
Ah.
Tears start welling up in her eyes. Oh. Will you walk a girl home? What should we do? Let's see. Let's walk her home. I slide out of the booth. Seems like Mary's having some trouble getting up. I reach out a hand to help her, but she waves me away.
Hey.
I got it. She clearly does not got it.
Hey.
You know what? Hang out here for a second. I walk over to the bartender and pay Mary's tab. Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I live in Mary's cul-de-sac and I'm just making sure she gets home safe tonight. I know you. Yeah, it's nothing weird, just... She usually has one of the bar staff walk her home, but I trust you. She doesn't go home with... I don't really want to say it. One of the guys she meets? Nah? Ain't her thing. Huh. I head back to the booth. Mary stumbles out of the seat and directly into my arms. It's still raining a little bit. I take off my coat and hold it over Mary's head. Such a gentleman. Let's get you home. Mary and I walk in silence up the street toward the cul-de-sac. I have no idea what to say to her for fear that she might hit on me. Or not. What did the bartender mean by ain't her thing? Sorry you have to see me like this. I'm usually not... I know Joseph doesn't like it when I... sorry. It's alright. I'm sorry if I'm ever mean to you. It's alright. No, it's not. I know it's not. I'm having a really... Forget it. As we get to the cul-de-sac, I can feel Mary starting to slow down. By the time we arrive at the doorstep, she pulls away from me. Wait. Can we just... Hold on. What's wrong?
Hey. Hey.
How about another drink, old time's sake? Come on, Mary, it's bedtime. Mary looks me up and down, giving me a half smile.
Hey.
You're right. She pulls me in close for a hug, holding on to me for a little longer than feels appropriate. She mumbles into my chest.
Hey.
You're a good kid. Thanks for the company.
Ah.
Mary gives me a pat on the back, straightens out her sweater, and walks the rest of the way to the front door herself. Huh. You're never too busy
Welcome.
or important to
You've
be
got
kind to
dads.
others. And we're gonna stop here for now. See you next time.